these rules have been broken before, right?
Yeah, well, these countries, France, Spain, are trying to acquire Germanic kind of credibility when it comes to respecting financial balance. But really, these sorts, respecting financial balance is really something you have to have a track record over several decades, and Germany's got that. That's why it's got the lowest borrowing costs in Europe. You have to start somewhere, though, and it is important to shore up that these governments shore up confidence that they have a grip on the finances, that they can control budgets and therefore debt, and it is important. Including it into the Constitution is a positive move because that has broad cross-party support. The point, really, whether they can actually follow through over several years, if not decades, is another question.
And so then what is going to be the obstacle? What are the challenges in sticking to these rules and following through, as you say?
Well, it's one thing to, promise and legislate. The specific problems with Spain are to do with its its regions. I mean, we don't really have a consolidated balance sheet, public balance sheet. We've got a federal system. There still needs to be a lot of consolidation, cleaning up of the public accounts. Also, we've still got the property problem, bubble and bust, and the banking system clean up. To be fair, they've been going at that quite correctly, and they've tried to clean up. Like when we have a property bust, and we need to clean up the bank's balance sheets so we can take losses where they're accounted for, and then we can move on. But the real tightrope here is ensuring fiscal credibility and control, but at the same time not snuffing out growth, because that's always half the debt problem.
And so how much of a risk is that with these constitutional amendments?
It's a real tricky one. A lot of the measures here are medium term. In other words, they throw them a few years into the future, which gives them some sort of breathing room with which to stimulate growth in the next 1 or 2 years.
And I'm just wondering, Jan, you were saying that it takes a long time to build up that sort of credibility in the markets, the sort of discipline and credibility that has kept German borrowing costs exceptionally low, even during tough times. So, and I know this is difficult, but how long will it be before these countries, Spain, Portugal, feel the benefits from these sort of amendments before it actually feeds through into their borrowing costs and boosts investor sentiment?
It's really difficult. It's part of the answer to that would also rely on external conditions. A lot of these countries are looking to an external adjustment. In other words, in order to regain some sort of growth, they're looking for external demand. They're getting some from the German economy, which is the key centre of the European economy through the industry links. There's some countries have done that, like the Baltics. Ireland, of course, still remains competitive, can demonstrate it can generate an export surplus even in difficult times, global economic slowdown. It's competitive. It's really whether these countries can gain an external adjustment in order to lever new growth, which can theoretically spill over into the domestic economy. And
how difficult is that going to be in this environment?
Well, we've got slowing global growth, so it makes it even more difficult. We've got the German economy, which had a brilliant start, but then slowed down sharply in the second quarter. That might be overestimating weakness, because order books are still strong. So there is some lift still from global demand, but really dealing with things like competitiveness and cleaning up banking systems really takes several years.
Or more. Thanks very much indeed. Good to talk to you, Jan Randolph of IHS Global Insight. Thank you.